Hi everyone. You have reached Facts You Need to Know channel. This is the story of Norway, the land of giants. First, locate Norway on the world map. Norway is a narrow coastal country located in the Nordic region, famous as one of the countries of Scandinavia. This country has a total area of 323,802 square kilometers. The country shares its eastern border with Sweden. Norway borders Finland and Russia in the northeast. In fact, when I first heard about Norway bordering Russia, it was perhaps a little surprising, but checked by the map, it was the truth. Norway is of a long and narrow country. Norway is a wonderful country with ice and snow, with mountains, with beautiful impressive landscapes, with beaches, cliffs, waterfalls, generally very monumental. Norway is a country of mountains and huge forests, with vast areas of land, but only about 3% of the land is used for cultivation. Norway's population is very modest at just over 5.3 million. Norway has the second lowest population density of Europe. The majority of the population is Norwegian, accounting for 86.9%. Immigrants account for 13.1%. Norway is also one of the most sparsely populated countries in Europe and the world. The population is nearly 5.4 million people, of which more than 1.2 million people live around the Oslo capital area of Norway. In addition to the mainland territory on the Scandinavian peninsula, Norway also owns many other islands, including the Svalbard chain and 3 other Antarctic islands. You do not hear wrongly, Antarctica is not the Arctic. The mountains make up about 2/3 of Norway's landscape. In Norway, it is estimated that there are about 300 peaks with an altitude of 1981 meters above sea level. Climbers, hikers, and adventure lovers will love setting foot in Norway. Some people say that there are some mountains so steep that some people no longer aspire to conquer it. Just like neighboring countries such as Sweden or Finland, Norway has many lakes, with a total of 400,000 lakes. This can be extremely impressive given the country's small size. One of the other famous things in Norway is the coastline. Many people have wondered how long the coastline in Norway is. If you draw a straight line along the coast of Norway, the country's coastline will be about 2,655 kilometers long. One of the most impressive long coastlines in the world. About climate. Norway has a mild climate thanks to hot ocean currents along the coast and heavy rainfall. The average temperature in summer is 15 degrees Celsius. In winter, it is -5 degrees Celsius. The continent has 4 distinct seasons, cold winters and little inland rain. With such a mild climate, Norway welcomes millions of visitors from countries around the world every year. Norway and other countries in the Nordic region are the land of the sun that never sets and never grows again. In the summer in northern Norway, the sun almost never sets, because it borders the northernmost point. It is estimated that, on a summer's day, about 20 hours of sunlight shines over the northern lands of Norway. In contrast to summer, the sun never sets. Winter, the sun never rises. It is permanently dark. If you are a sufferer of seasonal affective disorder, Norway is definitely not a suitable destination for you to explore. About Norwegian culture and people. The capital of Norway is Oslo, which is also the most famous city of this country. The city has also been named the world's most expensive city to live in. An extremely interesting thing is that most of the area of Oslo is forested. Despite being Norway's largest political, economic and maritime center, most of the area here is forested, in order to keep the air fresh for the people and preserve nature as well as wildlife. As of 2020, the population of this city is 698,000 people. During the Viking Age, this region was part of Viken. Oslo was founded as a city in the late Viking dynasty in 1040. The city became the capital of Norway around 1300. Norwegians are proud of their Viking roots. Of course, talking about the Vikings refers not only to Norway but also to Denmark, Sweden, and Iceland. The Vikings conducted fierce raids and conquered a lot of lands in the Nordic region. They even reached the Volga region of Russia. It is interesting that the Vikings discovered Iceland like a mistake. In fact, they made their way to the Faroe Islands, but the Viking ship lost its way and went to Iceland. Norwegians are proud of their tradition of equality and humanity. The country often accepts refugees and asylum seekers from other countries. About the national flag of Norway. The national flag of Norway consists of a red background with a blue Scandinavian cross with a white border. The current flag of Norway is based on the flag of Denmark. This was to symbolize the previous alliance between the two countries. The use of the Scandinavian cross, also known as the Nordic cross, is a tradition used by most independent Nordic countries, and the design of the cross represents Christianity. About economic and political. You may not know Norway is an oil powerhouse in Europe. Today, Norway is considered a wealthy country in Europe thanks to its huge oil production. The country is one of the largest oil and natural gas producers in the world. But Norway's oil industry is relatively new, because before the 1970s its economy still revolved around fishing and other maritime industries. The amount of Norwegian oil is estimated to be worth more than $1 trillion. However, the country only uses 3% of its oil per year because it is saving for its future generation. Now we will come to some interesting facts about Norway. Norway is home to a number of large, if not extremely large, animals. In the seas around Norway, you can see giant sharks, giant squid. On the mainland, you can see giant polar bears. This is really a wild land, a paradise for wild animals. Skiing was also invented in Norway. The earliest forms of skiing and modern skiing were also created by the Norwegians, and that made Norway the king of the Winter Olympic Games. Norway is also the most successful Winter Olympics in history, although its population is only about 5.3 million people. But Norway has won more medals than any other country in the history of the Winter Olympics. If you want to hide your income in Norway, it is almost impossible. Because everyone living in Norway has three figures that are published every year. These are annual income, income tax paid, and total assets. This data is completely open, searchable, and accessible to anyone. Drinking alcohol in Norway is not simple. Here, if you want to drink, you will have to pay an extremely expensive cost. Alcohol is only available in state-distributed stores and is very expensive. There are also prohibitions such as no beer, alcohol after 8 p.m. on weekdays, or after 6 p.m. on Saturdays. Norway owns one of the friendliest prisons in the world, which is Halden Fengsel Prison. Prison guards are encouraged to socialize with the inmates by playing sports, eating, and doing different types of activities together with the inmates. This is a way to prevent aggression from the prison guards and also from the inmates, making them feel like a family in the prison. The maximum security is guaranteed in the prison. All 10 square meters cells have a television, a toilet, and a shower along with a soft bath towels. Sounds more like a motel than a prison. And the last interesting thing. Traveling to Norway in the autumn, you will enjoy the charming natural scenery and also see the beautiful aurora borealis. Watching the northern lights in Norway is a wonderful memory. The aurora borealis is a specialty of Norwegian nature. The country has been dubbed one of the most beautiful aurora borealis in the world. The night here is cold. To see the northern lights of Norway, you will have to stay up at night to time according to the weather forecast and endure the cold 1 degree in the middle of autumn. The best time to watch the northern lights in Norway is from September to March. Tourists often look to Tromsø or the Lofoten Islands. These are all interesting stories about Norway. Thank you for following this story. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Goodbye and see you in the next sections.